Hey everyone, I'm giving everyone a second. We are finally live. It's been a while. I think we've missed each other for about a couple weeks now. The week before, I forgot what happened. I was doing something with my campaign. And then last week, I did an interview with the CCSD parents group. So if you hadn't had an opportunity to check out the interview, please do. Make sure, y'all, it is voting season. Voting season for those of us who are in the primary. Make sure that you vet your candidates. You know who wants to represent you, what they are saying, what their thoughts and ideologies are around some of the most important topics. Everyone, I'm Kamilah Bywaters. I'm running for the Board of School Trustees in District E. And I am so excited about voting, y'all. I'm so excited. I went to vote today and I was like amazed because my name is on the ballot. And you know, I gave it a little check next to Kamilah Bywaters. So I'm really excited about that. And I actually had to go remind myself, I was like, girl, go pick this mail-in ballot out of the junk mail trash. Your name is on this. You need to save it. So I'm saving all the little mailers that are coming out with the endorsements that I've gotten that have my name on it. I'm saving it. Make sure y'all are doing your work because let me tell you, some of these candidates are out here by them polls trying to get these last minute votes. And you know what? All I can do is shake my head. I had a group, I think it was Moms for Liberty, try to ambush me, lightweight ambush me at the polling center. And I'm thinking, no, stop right now while you're ahead. But anywho, tonight we have a wonderful conversation lined up. We're going to talk, I really wanted to talk about getting out the vote and really engaging you in talking about how important it is to vote in the primary. There are down ballot candidates such as myself running for school board. Like we can't win without you. Like I need you. I need all hands on deck to help us to win this race. Let me give myself a second to make sure that I'm sharing. What am I sharing? Sharing my link to all of our pages. If you're on live with us now, make sure that you share the link with your friends and your family. Let them know to get out the vote. You can vote at any polling location that you want. It's so important that we get out. Did anybody on the call want to introduce themselves? Walter, did you want to say something?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Bywaters. My name is Walter Jones III. I am running for State Assembly District 6. Like she said, it's very important that we get out and vote. That vote is our voice. So tell everyone that you can, make sure that they get out and vote. A no vote is the one to help the other person win. We need the votes to help us win. I won't be on the ballot till November. So look for me on the November ballot, November 5th. Thank you, Dr. Bywaters.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Listen, I have to give a big shout out. Y'all, there's people out here who think they can win elections by just putting up them nice, pretty signs and all that good stuff. Listen, the other day, I was out with Make the Road, Nevada, knock doors with me. And when I tell you that my heart was so full because I had, who was it with me? It was Tony, Jared, Jackie, and Don Antonio. Let me tell you, y'all, Don Antonio is my elder. And he was out there, and I think it was hot because we were sweating. It was hot. And he was out there knocking doors with me. And that did something to my whole heart. It helped me to just respect the seat that much more. Like when I go up and sit on the dais, on the seat that I am claiming that is ours, I'm going to have even more mad respect for the position to know that my elder came out to knock doors with me in the heat to make sure that I get to connect with as many voters as possible. And I also want to just say a big shout out to all the people who have donated to my campaign. Like you have definitely helped me to get like the signs, to support my volunteers, to get all the things that I need to reach more voters. From the time that we started fundraising, grassroots, y'all, we made like $10,000 from since we started fundraising to now. Like I went back and looked and was calculating. I'm like, dang, we did 10,000, y'all. That's not self-funded. That's grassroots before any endorsements came through. That was all the people saying, you know what, I believe in you, Kamilah. So I am so excited about that. I had people donating from my campaign from across the country, from the Progressive Change Organization. They did they're very focused in on school boards. So they had people from across the country like donating $1, $2, $3. And let me tell you, those monies add up. So I'm so grateful that people have been supporting and helping with donations. Thank you to those who have helped me to letter write. Y'all, I got 200 letters right now sitting right here that I'm gonna go mail tomorrow. I think we should have about 500 that we've sent out. So we've been letter writing, we've been phone banking, we've been knocking doors and doing all the things that we need to do, attending events to really run this campaign. It's been grassroots. And then my endorsements, let me tell you, I'm so excited for those endorsements that I've gotten. It is really means a lot to me. And what's important about endorsements, y'all, pay attention. There is not one candidate in District E running for the school board that has official endorsements like myself. And why this is important to me, because I have these organizations and unions, they vetted me. That means that they ask me questions. They grill me, in my opinion. Some meetings were a little harder than others, but they asked me about how I think about education. They asked me about my ideologies. And see, a lot of candidates that in my race have not gone through that process, so we don't know what they out here thinking. But yet they want us to vote for them. So let me run down some of the endorsements that I got. Plan Action, Nevada Now PAC, the United Brotherhood of Carpenters Local 1977, Independent Black Voters, Veterans in Politics International, Southern Nevada Central Labor Council, AFL-CIO, Planned Parenthood Votes Nevada, Hispanics in Politics, Make the Road Action Nevada, Nevada State Education Association, that's NSEA, International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE, Local 720, Culinary Workers Union, Local 226, and the Bartenders Union, Local 165, Teamsters of Southern Nevada, all the three locals, SEIU, Local 1107, Sheet Metal Workers, Silver State Equality. I have another one coming up that I can't announce yet, but I will soon. This means something to me because these organizations know how I think. And I showed up to the conversation to share my thoughts and ideas. I'm the only candidate in District E that has this many official endorsements. And I'm not sure how official some of the other ones are for the other people. I don't even think they roll in like me. But let your friends and families know that I have been vetted out here. I've been vetted, I've been tried, I've been tested, and I am true. I look so forward to just pulling people out to vote and really engaging in this process. The polls haven't really had too many people there, but we just kind of started, so that's okay. But you have until June 7th to vote early, and then election day is on June 11th. And I still need all hands on deck. So if you would like to phone bank with me, if you can knock doors, shut down a turf for me, or letter write, please let me know. I will be taking some of my students out of the country for their educational experience. So I'm going to need all hands on deck to help and support me as we get down to the wire. The wire. Did anybody have anything they wanted to share before we move on? So what I want to make sure is if you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to join us in the chat. You can join on the Facebook Live, and if you have questions, please ask there. And then the next part is if you want to join in the Zoom, you can join in the Zoom. So really our topic for tonight was to talk about what your thoughts are around, we talked about this before, but civic engagement in schools. And there is like a small, obviously students get government. Now I know Mr. Rodney wanted to talk about preparing students for politics in school. I think that can be kind of like a touchy situation because we're just really in a different political space right now. People are not respecting each other's ideas and thoughts, and people want to go ham on you. Like, for instance, in the parking lot when I was going to vote, the lady was asking me if I wanted to sign the petition so that we have to show an ID to vote. And I said, no, ma'am, thank you. No, that's not me. I'm not signing that petition. The lady continues to like heckle, and I'm thinking, okay, that's 1,000, 1,002. Okay, 1,003. I'm counting because I'm like, she's still going, she's still trying to press the issue. And then finally, I was like, no, after saying no to her like 3-4 times, she's still kind of close and just begging me to sign this paper. And we've said it like 3 times. Then she was like, well, we need an ID to buy alcohol. And I about looked. And I'm like, first and foremost, that argument is not even a comparable argument. What that got to do with voting, ma'am? Nothing at all. So the point that I was making was that people are getting real, what is the word I want to use? What is the word I want to use? They getting real about it out here if you don't believe in what they believe in. And then the stuff they believe in is not even making any logical sense at all. Any logical sense. So I do think that our students need civic education, of course, and there is a level of that within the Clark County School District. We do have a core curriculum that you can look at from the Nevada Department of Education that has all the content standards. There is government, but I don't see the curriculum really going deep into the political aspects that I think Mr. Rodney is talking about. And hopefully he'll join us pretty soon so he can talk about what he was interested in understanding about it. But I think right now it's really one of those rock in a hard place where we have to really get ourselves in a position to, what is the word I want to say? Be in a space of non-judgment and being able to teach the academic standpoint of politics or civic education in our school system. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I really could just see that going real haywire because I know that sometimes, there are teachers who struggle with separating, and this is not for everyone. I think there's some phenomenal teachers out there, but when you're as a teacher, you really have to separate your own personal views and really be able to teach the core of a subject. So anywho, I'm going to move on from that. And then when Mr. Rodney gets on, we'll see what his thoughts are around it. I know that he's really wanting to see more civic education. I know that we've talked about this many a times and how important it is for our students. We do need to ensure that we're preparing our students to be productive citizens. Like, they need to know how to register to vote. That's a thing. Where to go to register to vote, where to go to actually cast your ballot, how to look up and vet candidates. That is absolutely very important and a skill that our students need, because if we don't vote, we're allowing other people to make decisions for us. And if we do vote, we need to make sure that we're voting for people that we know and who have vetted. We understand what their values are. We understand what their ideologies are. And this is why it's so important to have this type of education in our schools so that we can at least get the basic information down, the basic information. Did anyone else want to share in the Zoom? And that's a no. So, I do want to provide some updates with what's going on with my campaign. Listen, let me see how I'm going to say this. I need your help. Okay. I do need your help. Thank you for those who are already helping. I think one thing that's important to know about campaigns is it's ongoing until we win. And then even when we win, I still need help and support because I want to make sure that I'm visible and that I'm a candidate that the candidate that I said I was going to be when I'm elected to the position. I do have a lot of wonderful, great ideas for engaging the District E community. I've already started to have conversations with local businesses about linking up and doing events with at their establishment. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I'm already thinking about connecting with our community in regards to having newsletters. I want to do events in the community for District E and make sure that our community is really beginning to build and establish and restore the relationship with their elected official. So that's really something that's important to me. I have some other ideas, like things are just like popping up like, ooh, I'm going to reach out to this person. Ooh, I'm going to reach out to that person. So I have a lot of things in store to engage our community. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about this election. By far, I am biased, of course, because it's me, but I believe that I am the best candidate for this. I am the best candidate for this position. Not only am I qualified from an educational standpoint, I have a bachelor's in psychology, a master's in education, a master's in divinity, and I'm completing my PhD in special education. So I should be done with my PhD in the fall. And then, yes, so I'm hoping to have all these great things accomplished in the fall. And I know there's some, some some of the ethic around school board members is some people believe that school board members should be teachers. I agree. Like we should have some school board members that are teachers. And I think we need a well-rounded view around what does that look like, right? I think you want to have people who understand business. You want to have people who understand finance. You definitely want to have your teachers. I think all of those collective minds could be very influential in shaping school boards and leading school districts. So one of the concerns I know that constantly comes up about me is that I haven't been a teacher for 19 years or 20, 30 years. And just to let you all know, I am a licensed special education teacher and I do sub once in a while in the district. But unfortunately, I didn't have the privilege of teaching for 19 years, 20 years, 30 years in the Clark County School District because of the harassment that I experienced as a young teacher in my 20s. When I started teaching in my 20s, and I was taught to be the advocate, be the change that you want to see in the world, stand up for your students, make sure that the law is being followed, make sure that little Black girls and little Black boys are not being disproportionately put into special education. Now, when I stood up for those things, my life became a living threat because administrators didn't want this 20-something young lady with a master's degree working at Canyon Springs High School to say that they knew something about teaching. So I would get written up. And not only was it me, but it was a group of people, of teachers, grown women who would come to me to my classroom crying because of the harassment and the discrimination and the retaliation that we were experiencing at Canyon Springs High School during that time. This was around this was between like 2007, 8 to like 2011. So no, I didn't have the luxury to stay for over 10 years in the Clark County School District because I wasn't going to stay in a situation where people were going to harass me, abuse me, and tell me I can't speak up for kids. So I left. And in me leaving, I said, I'm going to educate myself. So I educated myself some more. I went to divinity school so I could be more of a compassionate person on this earth. And I learned so that I wouldn't just go buck wild on every person that I didn't like. So I went to divinity school and I came back and completed my working on my PhD, all because I knew that one day I was going to come back and be a force and fight against the systemic challenges that I experienced as a young teacher. I was in my 20s. And when you thought that I should have been embraced by the leadership, it was the opposite. They were trying to destroy my career. And this is not only my story. I had a young lady the other day, young new teacher, tell me she done got written up 2 times. And I'm thinking, this is a pattern and a culture of harassment and retaliation and I don't know, some word just came to my mind. I don't even know if that's a word that is happening. So I am the person for this job because I understand when you come and tell me you've been retaliated against, I'm not going to say, I don't think so. I believe you. Let's do something about it. When you tell me that you're experiencing discrimination and evilness and all kinds of stuff, I believe you. I believe you. Now, there are some questions here that I want to look at. Hey, Dr. Hamilton, thank you for joining us. And then also Miss Amy, she is in the chat with us, but she's also asking questions. I love that. If you have a question, please ask, because that helps me to talk more on the topic that you're asking about. So Dr. Hamilton asks, what percentage of the vote wins? We are praying you win at least 75%. Listen, if we can get all the angels and God to make this happen, that would be awesome. So I would need to win in the primary by 50% of the vote plus 1. And then it will be over. If we can win in the primary. We can win in the primary for sure. That would be lovely. Now, if we get 75%, hey, awesome. Like, let's do it. So pretty much on all of the lists, I am the endorsed candidate. So there's Democratic lists have gone out. The union lists have gone out. So I'm on all of them. So hopefully voters are paying attention to those lists and going with who our organizations and our unions are supporting. But I would love, if I could get 75%, y'all, we will be done. Then, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. I'm gonna let it go. And then Dr. Hamilton says, you have been helping parents and students for years. That is true. And then, hey, Miss Cozy, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining and thank you for helping out too. And then Miss Amy asks, who are the school board candidates you are working with to be elected or reelected? That's a great question. Great question. Here's what I'm going to say. In District C, Tamika Henry. District C, Tamika Henry. District B, I should have started from A. So District A, there is Anna Binder and Mercedes McKinley. So 2 great candidates. District B, Eileen Eady. District C, Tamika Henry. And then, of course, in District E, me. If we can get all of us on the board, we're going to have a fabulous situation. It's going to be like majority people moving the district forward. We at least need 2 of us on the board to still have a 4 vote with our trustees who are, because we're counting, Tracy and I are always we're counting votes. Okay, we count votes. That's what this is about. So we need at least 2 people on the board. Is that what we said? 2 people? Because who do we have on there?
You need you and three. You need you and three.
Yep. We definitely need me and Tamika. 2. If we can get all of us, great. That's lovely. We're in a great situation. But we at least need 2 because we understand who these individuals are. Many of the people on the ballot on all across A, B, C, and E, we're kind of like, what is the word I'm trying to say? We don't know if we could trust them. Now we have 2 Moms for Liberty. There's a Moms for Liberty in my race, and there's a Moms for Liberty in Eileen Edie's race. Listen, if Moms for Liberty, now every time I say something about Moms for Liberty, they go and post something about me. So right now they're calling me a child killer because I got endorsed by Planned Parenthood Votes Nevada. Anywho, no, we believe in individuals making their own decisions about their bodies, period. So anywho, but if Moms for Liberty gets on the board, y'all, it's a wrap. Like, it's a wrap, okay? You know that they're trying to take over school boards across the United States. I need your help. And you know, this actually kind of frustrates me a little bit because I know that we have a whole group dedicated to against Moms for Liberty in this state. And I've reached out to the group and I'm like, where y'all at? Like, we have potentiality of 2 Moms for Liberty being on our board. And I'm like begging for your help. I'm lost, confused, and I'm trying to stay focused on running my race with who I have helping me. But I personally don't understand that. So group, I need your help. Like literally. And let me tell you, Moms for Liberty is working hard to beat me. When I went up to the poll, they all stopped and sent people over to me. So the young lady is out here hustling. I need us to hustle too. Like, that's a whole nother story I could go into, but I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to understand the level of our engagement. And I know I'm just trying to understand it. I know there's people helping in the background, but I need some of you who can help me in the front. I need you to help me in the front. Write letters, phone bank, knock doors, donate. If you can't write letters, phone bank, or knock doors with me, I need donations so I can hire people to help me do that. Like that's just how it is. And today I got asked a question from Opportunity 180, who's sending out like questions every 5 seconds. What has your campaign experience been like? And it's been very interesting. Like I'm starting to change just a lot. Like if anyone I know is ever running for office, if you ask me for help, hands down, I'm going to be there, whatever I can do to help, because this is really hard. This is really, really hard. Like, you have to plan, you have to strategize, you have to do the work. You have to get out and knock on people's doors. You have to talk to people, and it's uncomfortable. Now I think the least uncomfortable part is maybe handwriting, but I totally understand when people are kind of uncomfortable about talking to voters, because you never know who you're going to get. I've had people hang up on me. I've had people slam the door on my kids. Like, really? Adult human beings, you're slamming doors on kids? Like, okay. But I understand why it could be a little nerve-wracking, that I get that, but there's other ways you can help. Like, so when you have somebody in your circle who's running for office, we need your help like all the time. And it could be little things. It could just be social media sharing. But if you're not able to do the actual physical things, then donating is good, because it can help me to hire people who could do the work as a job. So I could hire people to knock doors for me. I could hire people to phone bank for me. So this is why it's important to be, when I say all hands on deck, like that's what I mean, all hands on deck. And it's a new process for my family, because this is the first time like we've had like an immediate, my cousin has ran for office before. But to have me and the people in my circle, like I'm texting everyone all the time, hey, donate to me. Again, donate to me 2 times, donate to me 3 times. So it's a lot. And we've really done a good job with, I've had people sacrifice giving me 10, 20, $50 when they probably couldn't give it, but they gave it anyway. So I'm really appreciative of that because it's helped me to, move my campaign needle forward. And we've done a good job with the small team that we've had. We have done a great job. I know Tracy has helped me to write letters. Sue and Jerry, Miss Cozy helped me to write letters. We did about 400 letters. And that is amazing. So 400 people are going to get handwritten letters. And then once we get out the primary, we're going to amp it up. We're going to do more events, more voter outreach so that people can know more about who's running in their District E. Tracy, did you have anything?
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Tracy Lewis. I want to say, I've been out here with Dr. Bywaters, and from what I can see out of all of the candidates across the board, she is the most qualified and the one that is doing the most work. And I'm not saying that the other candidates aren't working, but she's really putting in the work. Some people are taking advantage of opportunities. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without stepping on any toes. But sometimes when you're not putting in the work, it's almost like you're taking people for granted. And so, this is a lot of work, and things and times have changed since when some of us have ran in the past. So anything that she's asking you to do or putting it out there, trust and believe, we're all seeing this stuff firsthand and how it's going and how it's working. We have candidates such as Walter Jones, who's not going to be on.
Miss Amy.
Yes.
Okay, I was seeing if Tracy was frozen or if I was frozen.
No, Tracy's frozen.
Okay. Well, she's frozen, y'all. Miss Felicia, what's your question? What is the name of the group against Moms for Liberty?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Is there an organization that works against Moms for Liberty? For Liberty?
So what I was talking about, are you talking about the specific group that I was talking about?
Yes.
Basically, the point that I was making is that there's a Facebook group called Not in Our State, Moms for Liberty. So
What is it again? I'm sorry, there's a car passing by. What is it?
Not MF, not Moms for Liberty in our state.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so my hope was that I would, be able to engage that group a little bit more and try and preventing Moms for Liberty from being on our school boards. So
Right.
yeah, that was my hope. And I reached out to them, but I never got any responses from the group. But basically my point was just to motivate and, let people know like, hey, I need help. And if I see groups with particular themes or messages, I'm going to reach out to them hoping for support. But it is, and when Tracy gets back on, I'll let her, because you know what I'm going to do? Let me see if I can. Oh no, I don't want to remove her because then it will,
Kick her out. But I've been thinking about that. We need to start some kind of a group that will, you know, represent the black and brown moms that support our Board of Education and our curriculum in our school district.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's a great idea. And and actually, and what I was going to move into saying is that I'm going to start analyzing what types of meetings I'm going to be going to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I attend a lot of meetings and it's just a lot of talk, and I personally don't have time for that.
Right.
And after running this election and being in a space of where I'm trying to be action oriented, like we have people who need help, and we're
Right.
continuously, and I know we all bring this up. This is not only me saying this, but we're continuously having meetings. We're
Yes.
meeting, and then people will create a plan, but then no one follows through. Like I'm really going to start thinking about what my role and position is going to be with all these meetings, because I'm looking for action that's going to shift policy
Mm-hmm.
and liberate us. And I think what I'm
Okay.
going to do is I'm going to have a mission. If this doesn't bring action and policy or laws, then it's not for me. And I think this is going to be a good way for me to really kind of move my
Hone in.
passions.
Yeah.
Yeah, hone in on what my passions are, because I just don't have time. I've
I,
spent
I
I
understand. I
spent so
understand
much
completely.
time just being in meetings listening, and I'm like, well, what we gonna do? And then either people say they're gonna do something, but then they never do it, and it's like, okay, I don't have time for that. But Tracy, you froze. So you were at the part where you were talking about how much work goes into the campaign, and
Yeah, something's going on with my computer. But no, there is a lot of work in these campaigns, and Kamilah is definitely putting in and doing all of the work. And however you can help and support, please do it. Tell your family members, friends, tell your churches. The churches should be doing a little bit more than what they're doing. The fraternities and the sororities should be doing a whole lot more than what they're doing, because the fraternities and sororities by themselves can flip this whole entire election. And so we have to hone in on the power that we have. And we're always talking about, well, we need to do this and we need to do that. Well, we actually have an opportunity right now to change the course of a lot of this political discourse that's going on, and to gain our power back. So I'm going to stop talking and let, everybody else chime in and everything. But thank you. But just get out and vote. Early voting is going on now. If you don't know who to vote for, once again, please call us, because we know who's out there. And we don't
yes.
want any mistakes on anybody's ballots. And then we're trying to get them cleared up. Make sure you're signing your names, or if somebody's helping you, that they sign and date whatever they're asking you to do. But this is critical. And remember Project 2025. That's very, very, very important. If you don't know what Project 2025 is, go Google it, and it's going to open your eyes. And like I
Yeah.
said, I'm paying attention to the grifters and the peacockers that's out here saying what they doing, and they're not honoring their word. I'll just say that.
And you know what? I think the next session, we probably need to talk about Project 2025. The next Facebook Live, because that's serious. And based off of what Trey, now listen, I'm really just changing and thinking, and just because we really are in a position to gain political power. And I have been critical. I've been critical of the church, fraternities and sororities, because they have a lot of members, not only in the state, but across the country. Like, what a powerful force. And when I was at the shepherd's breakfast going in, I was like, listen, don't get mad at what I'm saying. Just say ouch, and let's do better. That's exactly how I was able to, just transform my own life and do things differently. I said, you know what? Ouch. And I did better. And we really just I really don't know what it takes to mobilize. Like, I'm not the best mobilizer. I am not the one, but I'm trying. But when I'm looking at organizational missions that are like, we're here to help empower you and support you, and Black Girl Magic, and then it's like I reach out and it's like crickets, and I'm very confused. And I do understand that we have a lot on our plates. But the leaders of organizations, I'm talking to you, the leaders, because you are the individual that guides, sets the tone and the vision for your organization. And there is many of you leaders that have influence to move people, and I'm not sure what direction we're moving them in. We have to do better because we just really have been non-existent while elections are happening. Non-existent. I am the only Black candidate in District E. The only. So all my signs are trickled out here by themselves. You know, some of them are getting moved. I have to go fix them and push them up and put them like they were before. So I need all hands on deck. The Black church, sororities, fraternities. I need all of y'all here. And I have made some really good connections that I need to follow up on. So that's on me. But we need you. We need your help. And voting is coming. And I want to give you, okay, and here's what Miss Belinda says. She says, those that talk with no action are just occupying space. And that is so true. That is so true. Love that. I have to give, and this, I didn't get to say this because I started talking about Make the Road. Listen, we have to rally behind Ray Kennedy. Ray Kennedy is in what she calls a David and Goliath type of race, okay? When I tell you, so I haven't seen the person she's running against, the Wolfson lady, I haven't seen her out in the community the way that I've seen Ray Kennedy out in the community. Y'all, I went to a neighborhood and I saw Ray Kennedy running in the hot sun to meet as many voters as she could. She was running, y'all, running. And I have my whole family to witness. And I was like, she didn't put me to shame. And I said, you know what? When I saw her, I said, no. I'm going to get a list in my district that coordinates with her district, with her voters, to be out there with her because she gave me so much motivation and inspiration. Like, her opponent has billboards up, a lot of billboards up, big ones, shiny ones. And I ain't seen that girl out here running. Ray Kennedy running for Las Vegas Municipal Court Judge, Department 5, was out here running hot, sweaty, red face because this is how she believes the work. Like, I want a judge who worked that hard to be in the position. She totally changed my whole entire life. I was like, oh gosh. I talked about it for like the whole day. I literally, and I was texting people. I was like, listen, we need to rally around this young lady because she's out here on a trot in the hot sun by herself. Her team could not make it with her on, I think this was last Saturday. What was it, Saturday? What day was that? It was Saturday. It was last Saturday. This past Saturday. Her team couldn't make it with her, and she still went and knocked doors by herself running. You don't get no better commitment than that. Like, she didn't put me all the way to shame. I was like, oh my gosh. I was talking about getting a scooter. I was like, I'm gonna get a scooter and just, run around to the doors. But this young lady, she really just inspired me. And I'm saying this because for someone who will put in that much work to reach her voters, to get to know her voters, that says a lot. And that's who I want representing me on the bench, for real, for real. Like, she put me in so much awe. I was texting people all day, and I was like, look, about to tell my campaign manager, get me some lists that are with her, because I think that it was very inspirational. And goodness gracious, I'm over here talking about scooters and she's over here on a jog. But, I just want you to know that she's working really hard. She's working really hard when ain't nobody watching, because she didn't know. She didn't know I was watching her. And I am so excited for her. And we got to pull together, rally around her, because we cannot be okay with somebody just posting signs and thinking that's the way to win. You have to get down with the people, talk with the people, commune with the people, understand who the people are, share your values, share your ideologies. That's how we get good people in office. It is, and here's what I've been thinking. What a privilege. The privilege that people think that they have. And we have a democracy. I'm not saying that Kamilah doesn't believe in democracy. I do. But the privilege that people think that they have, that they can just go put their name on the ballot, never come to you, never share their thoughts with you, never understand who you are as a community, and they want you to vote for them. And they've been zipped, mouth shut, silent. Absolutely not. That's a privilege that we can't even talk about, that they're operating with, that it should just be them. You should just pick them because their name is there. We as a people, and this is, I really want to do a whole session on this, because this is what the ethic that I want to influence change around, is how we choose people that speak up for us and choose the people that want to speak up for us. Like they need to be vetted on a whole new level. You know, like we have to look at their history. Have you been doing this? Have you been a part of this work? And then how are you coming to be in community with those who you're planning to represent? Because if you're not in community with those you're planning to represent, then you're representing yourself and a whole other people that the status quo? Yes, that's what's happening. Thank you, Pastor West. Problem, please vote, like and share and like. Absolutely. Love that. Awesome. So it's 7 o'clock. Tracy, did you have anything you wanted to end with?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of what you just said. I'm having some technical difficulties over here. Make sure that you get out and vote. But with the Wolferson young lady, she's living on the legacy of her father and mother's name. And I know in our community, when I say our, I'm talking specifically about the Black community, individuals have problems with them the way they handle the O.J. Simpson case. So that's that connection reminder, and why we have certain people from the Black world supporting and endorsing this young lady. Many of us have seen the commercial, so I don't need to say any names. But also, there's some candidates out there that I need, since I'm seeing certain names coming up here on Facebook, that they understand. We have some candidates in some certain races that feel very entitled to be in these races, even though they haven't been here very long. And so I'm going to say I was really offended Friday night at Kamilah's fundraising event over at the WSO. And if you were there, you'll know who I'm talking about. But for someone that's not been here long enough to dog out the Blacks that have been born and raised here, I found it to be very offensive. I found that it was very shameful and disgraceful to discount any amount of work that any of us have done, irregardless of what you think and what you see how our community looks. Is not because of us and not trying, it's because of the gatekeepers that you were talking about have prevented things from happening. So at this point in the game, I'm just putting it out there. I'm getting ready to give the whole storyline so the community can get it. They'll know who the gatekeepers are. They'll know what's been going on, especially in education, because there's no reason for us to be looking the way that we do in education with the fights that we've been having. There's no reason for us to be looking the way that we do with the elected officials that we've had in city council, county commission, city of North Las Vegas. There's just absolutely no reason. And at the end of the day, this is all about money. So we're going to just put it out there and say, let's follow the money. But when you come from some other states, and then you have the audacity to say, that you are offended that we have an issue with people that are coming in from out of state, but they're doing the work. Most of those people are not doing the work. They're riding on the coattails of people who've already done the work, and they're trying to regurgitate what they've heard. And half of the stuff that they're regurgitating is not the truth. So I'm watching the peacockers and the grifters, but I do want it to be stated and said where there won't be any rumors that, oh, she's out here saying this and she's out here saying that, because I can say it to your face, but you left the event, so I couldn't say it, and it was Kamilah's event, but I'm putting it out there. So those people that are born and raised here, there's some folks thinking that we haven't put in the fight, that we haven't been doing anything just because we 50 and 60 or whatever our ages are. Our ancestors came from other places and built historic West Las Vegas up. They couldn't cross over the railroad track. So there's a lot of understanding that needs to be said to these people who think that we're not out here trying to do anything when we've been out here on the battlefield before they even came to Vegas. So I just wanted to say that, but I also want to make sure that people do get out to vote. And I'm gonna try not to be a cranky old lady, but make sure you get out to vote, and that you're asking people who to vote for if you're not sure about these candidates on the ballots, because everybody's ballot is set up differently. It's set up differently. So please, 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 please make sure, if you don't see any other judges' names that you recognize, please vote for Ray Kennedy. You're not going to see Walter Jones' name, but you're going to see Kamilah's name. You're going to see Tamika Hendry's name. You're going to see Mercedes and Anna's name and Eileen Edie, depending on where you live. That's school board. You're going to see Trisha Braxton, state board. You're going to see Tanya Sutton Holmes for Board of Regent. Please make sure that you are voting for these people. We're talking about education where we already have a strategy and a plan to move that forward. And everyone have a good evening.
Yeah, so that was awesome, Tracy. So here's what I want to say. And now I'm going to continue talking at this point, and then I want to make sure that I let give Assemblywoman Claire Thomas the opportunity to say what she would like to say. But when I was at Howard University and I worked with Dean Richardson at Rankin Chapel, there's one thing that I took from working with him that I didn't really learn anywhere else, but he taught me protocol. And he literally like brought me to the office one day and was like, Kamilah, you have to make sure that you're operating in a space of protocol. You have to know what it is, where you're going. So I absolutely appreciate him for that. And I feel like when I came back to Vegas, I was born and raised in Vegas, and I went to Howard, came back, went to Howard again. But when I came back, I was like, we don't have no protocol. We don't have no protocols here in Vegas. Everybody just all over the place, all over the place. And that's why we're struggling to build unity as a community, because we don't have established protocols. And I tell you, Tracy and I have worked so hard to try to bring this community together around educational issues. And I feel like every time we try, like we've had meeting, like let's come together, let's unify because we'll be stronger. Something, give me my phone, little girl. Okay, give me. I'm on a Zoom call, okay? Something happens where one group doesn't want to support this, and then we end up getting broken off. And that's what I'm seeing again. This is why this election is so important, because for decades on the Clark County School District, we have not been able to really move the needle because of the gatekeepers, the status quo, the good old boy club system, and all that stuff really shaping education. Having me in District E is going to be a part of starting to disrupt that cycle of silliness and ignorance and status quo that we have seen. And I have a lot of people, like people who have supported me. Now, listen, I know I deeply care about Black people because I am Black. But please understand that I have a big circle of white people who I support them, and who care about who believe in me as well, who are helping me and want me on the board because they know that I move the needle and want to move the needle for everyone. So that's important. And the reason that this is a very important election for education, because we are really at a point of transformation on the board where we can start to help our trustees who have been doing the best they can with the minority vote. We can get up there, help them, and start to really clean house in our district and get change. And I'm going to go ahead and let Assemblywoman have her time and say what she would like to say.
Hello, thank you for giving me some time. I came in on the tail end of Miss Tracy, and I was like, oh, okay. I missed that cup of tea. But anyway, what I was thinking about was I just got back in from knocking doors because, you know, I'm racing for the Senate seat, and it's very important to me to be the voice of this community. And as a senator, I would be the voice of the entire state, not only the community that elects me, but the entire state of Nevada. So with that said, you said something earlier that I'm finding that we do a lot in our Black community. We apologize for being Black. And we don't need to apologize for being Black. They see us, they see we Black. And, you know, it's things that we should be um, uh, cognizant of is our Blackness. And we know that the system, and they know that the system has been unfair to not only our Black community, but in the state of Nevada, our indigenous community. So we need to be able to bring that to the forefront, because if we don't, the system in education will remain the same. Because we have now a lot of, I would say, people that feel, oh, it's okay, they're doing all right. You know, we're pumping them out, but are they being educated? You know, we have a group of I would say, systematically discharging our children at a rate higher than we have seen in a very long time. And if we don't put the right people in position of authority that look like you and me, and can understand that not everything is black and white. There's some gray issue in there. And if we can look at that and get the right people into the educational realm of our educational system, I think we can get things changed. And I'm all about being, you know, they don't want me on the education committee, but that's okay. I can work from, you know, as I was told, if they don't open the door for you, use the back door, use a window. So, you know, I'm going to be heard, and I'm going to be that hawk, you know, watching what they do and what kind of bills, and bring it back and get the community riled up, because when you have bills that affect Black, brown, and indigenous children in the state of Nevada, we are going down the wrong path. We need to be forward thinkers instead of backward, punitive people. I mean, you just cannot accelerate this state if we want to go back in time. Because if we do, then we're going to go back to the sirens. You know, all of us need to be indoors by 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Because we might be frightening a population that doesn't need or doesn't want to be frightened because of the color of our skin. So we need to celebrate the color of our skin and stop apologizing for our Blackness, because our white counterparts, they see us, They know that we live in a diverse community. And if we do not put that out there, we're going to be left behind, because right now they're digging for us to be left behind. They got so many agendas right now that are going strong. They have a plan,
Mm-hmm.
plan to, you know, and that plan they've gotten and they've met up. And you think that, you know, I'm trying to be a conspirator. I'm not. I'm telling you fact. They have a plan because they are tired of being second or third, and they're pushing us back, and we're allowing them to push us back. And I'm saying, nope, 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 not going to happen. Not on my watch.
Right.
So that's my speech for tonight.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm definitely taking that in to be unapologetic.
That's right.
Unapologetic. I love that, to be Black. I love that for sure. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. Listen, you never know what you're going to get, but you got the truth. And that is what's important. And we need people who are willing to shed light on the truth. That's what people want from us. And that's what we're here to do. Please get out and vote. If you're able to support my campaign, please reach out. My phone number is out there in the universe, so you can reach out to me. You can text. If you're able to support Assemblywoman Clara Thomas, like she said, she just came in from knocking doors. If you're able to get out and support her, please let me know. I can send your information over to her, or if you can reach out to Assemblywoman Thomas and you can let her know how you want to help. But this is the time. If you've always said that you wanted to be involved and be a part of change, this is the time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. I'm hoping we can get about 250 plays on this video. And when you get this video, please share it with your friends and your family. Have a wonderful night. And we hope to see you. No, not hope. We want to see you at the polls voting in the primary. See you next week.